Hey y'all, this is Marvin of Marvin Williams Cooking Adventures, and I just thought I'd turn on the camera today. I'm getting ready to bake my grandmother, my dad's mother, my paternal grandmother, a birthday cake. She used to be a wonderful baker, and she used to make the best chocolate pound cake. Ugh, used to love her chocolate pound cake. She doesn't bake as much anymore, so I thought I would surprise her this year with the chocolate pound cake. And so I'm going to start off by the ingredients that I'm going to use. I don't have her exact recipe, but I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to use 6 eggs, 8 ounces of sour cream. I'm going to use 2 sticks of butter and a half of a cup of butter flavor shortening. I'm going to use 3 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm going to use a half a teaspoon of baking powder, 6 eggs, and I'm going to use 1/4 of a cup of cocoa powder, a teaspoon or a tablespoon of vanilla, and I'm going to add some coffee liqueur. Okay, so those are the ingredients, and I'm going to start off by go ahead and look at the old pan. I had a friend of mine who, her husband does a lot of junking, so she found this old tube pan, and so I'm going to use this to bake my grandmother's cake in. And this was my wife's great aunt, and so I'm going to use this old aluminum pan, metal pan, to sift my flour in. So I'm going to start with my dry ingredients and go ahead and get that out of the way. So 3 cups of all-purpose flour. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put that in my do all of the dry ingredients together. Half a teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/4 of a cup of the cocoa powder. Okay, there we go. So all I'm going to do is just sift that in my bowl. Okay. Make sure we get all the lumps out and to incorporate the baking powder and the cocoa powder. And see there at the bottom there's a few little lumps of cocoa powder. There we go. So we got that all sifted. I can just set that to the side. All right. Went ahead and grabbed me an apron because I can be a little bit messy in the kitchen sometimes. So, and I'm gonna do one of the things that I hate to do the most. I don't know why this bothers me. I don't like to grease the pan. That gets on my nerves for some reason. With the newer pans that I have, I usually just spray it with a cooking spray and dust it with flour. But since this is an old pan and doesn't look like it has one of those non-stick surfaces, I'm going to take some shortening and grease my pan really well. Okay. And I'm trying to do it with a paper towel, but I got clean hands, so I'm just going to get a little bit of shortening and use the best tools that you can have in the kitchen, and that's your hands. So, just going to grease the inside of my pan. I sure hope this comes out good because I think Grandma will really enjoy this. Just going to grease the inside really well. Because the last thing I want to do, ingredients are too high. So I definitely don't want to waste the time of doing this cake and then it sticks to the pan and we can't use it. Okay. There we go. Got my pan all greased so I can just set that to the side over there with my flour. And we'll start creaming the shortening and the 2 sticks of butter. All right, I forgot to add my flour. So I greased it really well. Now flouring it. Just making sure that the sides are floured really well. There we go. And that excess grease, lard, or shortening that was on my hands, it didn't go to waste. I ain't gonna show y'all, but my legs are shining like a brand new penny. I've washed my hands since then, okay? All right, now I'm going to start creaming my butter, 2 sticks of butter, and a 1/2 cup of butter flavored shortening, okay? And I let all my ingredients sit out so that they're room temperature. My butter is softened. Of course, the butter flavored Crisco. This whole thing would be a cup, so I'm going to use 8 tablespoons. 4, 6, 8. So half of this would be a 1/2 cup. All right. So there we go. The rest of that butter that was on stuck to the paper. We want to use it all. We paid for it, right? See how much was left on there because the butter is so soft. So just making sure I get all of that off. All right, and it is time. This is an old Sunbeam blender or hand mixer that I have. Not hand mixer, you know what I'm trying to say. Stand-up mixer that I have. It's an old Sunbeam one, and it's time for a new one, so it's going to keep up a lot of noise. I think it's time for me to get the next time I buy one, which is going to be pretty soon, I'm going to get me a KitchenAid. Yes. So, oh Lord, it might be sooner than later. If y'all want to help me with that, I can send you my Cash App if you want to help me to get a KitchenAid. Oh goodness. I don't know if we're going to get through this cake today. I might have to get out my... I think I'm going to have to get out my hand mixer. Y'all really do need to Cash App me somebody to give me one now. But I got it going, so I didn't have to get my hand mixer out. So my butter and my Crisco, my shortening is creamy. And I'm going to add 3 cups of sugar. Okay, 1. Turn that down. is so loud that I'm gonna go ahead and put this sugar in there, and I'll be back, y'all. All right, next I'm going to add 8 ounces of sour cream. So this is a 16-ounce container, so I'm just going to use half of that. And I'm going to start incorporating my eggs one at a time. Okay. This ain't gonna work. I gotta get my hand mix out. I'll be back. Well, had to improvise. Got out my hand mixer. So to the shortening and butter, I added 3 cups of sugar, 8 ounces of sour cream, and I'm incorporating my eggs one at a time. I think y'all think my mixer is gone? I think so too. I think it's time for that KitchenAid. I've always said that if once it died on me, I was going to go with the KitchenAid. Well, I guess it's time. So that'll be a birthday present to myself. Adding the last egg, 6 eggs. Okay. So I'm just going to take my time and make sure and scrape down the sides to make sure that it's all creamed and incorporated really well. I started to turn off the camera and not even do this anymore because of what happened with the whole mixer thing, but that is life. Y'all know how life can be and how things happen, so there's more than one way of doing things. So glad that I still had my hand mixer. And if it came down to it, if I didn't have a hand mixer, I can do with what my wife's grandmother used to do. I used to sit in the kitchen with her and watch her make a pound cake by hand. She did not use a mixer. She would whip all of that, and she did a pound of flour, a pound of sugar, and a pound of butter. Those cakes were heavy. They were delicious, but they were heavy, and that batter was thick. And she would use that spoon and she would whoop and beat. And I don't even know if I could. So if I didn't have this, I'd go back to that way and make sure that I get it done because I'm not going to waste these ingredients. So anyhow, here's a look at what, well, she's feeling pretty good. From here, all I have to do is to add my dry ingredients, okay? So I got my old pan here, and I'm just going to do a little bit at a time, okay? Until I get all of the dry ingredients incorporated. Once that's incorporated, I'll go back and put a little bit more in. I ain't gonna make y'all watch me do the whole thing, so I'll be back in a minute. All right, I'm getting ready to add the last of the dry ingredients. And I'm gonna scrape down the sides. Looks good. I hope she's pleased. All right, let's Finish blending up this last little bit, and then I'll show y'all what it looks like, okay? All right, y'all, I got it all incorporated, all of the dry ingredients. Look at that batter. Isn't that beautiful? Let me see if I got it. So all I need to do right now is add my flavoring. I'm going to do a teaspoon of vanilla. I brought this vanilla back from Cozumel years ago. Oh, it's so good. Okay. Teaspoon of vanilla. And I'm going to do a tablespoon of coffee liqueur. Okay. And coffee enhances the flavor of chocolate. So when doing brownies or any chocolatey dessert, I usually add a little bit of coffee or coffee liqueur. And I'm just going to do that well enough to incorporate all of that. And that's it. That's the batter. How old do you have to be, or do you get to stop licking the beaters? At what age do you stop licking the beaters? I need to know that. Because if y'all think this is going to the sink before I work on it a little bit, you're crazy. But anyhow, look at that batter. Isn't that beautiful? So all I need to do now is to get that batter in my greased old tube pan. Okay? Oh, and I need to get my oven preheating to 350 degrees. Lord, please let this cake turn out right. Because if it ain't right, I know Grandmama gonna tell me. Amen. I wish I could do it where you could see it. All right, I'm gonna get all this in the pan. Give me a minute, I'll be back once I get it all in there. Look at this pan. If it could talk, can you imagine the cakes that have been baked in this old pan? Yes, the batter is yummy. Yes, the batter is yummy. Yes, the batter is yummy. For the beater told me so. All right, y'all. Getting ready to put it in a 350 degree oven for an hour and 20 minutes. Or until skewer, a wooden skewer comes out clean. Hour and 20 minutes. There we go. And I'll let y'all know what it looks like when it comes out the oven. I'm probably not going to be able to let you know what it tastes like or what it looks like on the inside because I'm sending this to Grandma. This will be Grandma's birthday cake, the cake that she used to make for us all the time. So I hope she is pleased. I'll be back in a minute once it comes out the oven. Well, it won't be a minute. It'll be 120 minutes. All right. I'll see y'all in a few. Thank you so much. It served me well. Ashes to ashes. Dust to dust. This old mixer is hushed as fuss. Oh. I'll fly away. Oh. Hey y'all, the oven just went off, so I'm gonna take this cake out of the oven. Look at there. Chocolate pound cake. So let me check and see if it's done. Use a wooden skewer. And it came out dry. So I just need to allow this to sit for about 10-15 minutes. And then I will remove it from the pan. I'll show you what it looked like once I remove it from the pan, y'all. I just took the chocolate pound cake out of the oven and I'm getting ready to put in another cake. This is my cake of many colors. Take a look at this. Is that not beautiful? It's in the cookbook. Getting ready to put that in the oven for a friend of mine. All right, time to invert this cake to remove it from the pan. So, here we go. Please, please, let go. And it did. Look at that thing of beauty. So I'm gonna allow it to cool on this cooling rack. Let me tell y'all something. They never inverted the pound cake on the other side growing up. Never saw pound cake with the mound side. They always served it like this with the flat side. So I'm going to allow it to cool. They never served it like this. Never served it this side up. It was always the other way that I showed you. But anyhow, it looks like this pound cake is going to be all right. I think Grandma is going to be pleased. I'm so tempted to get just a little slice just to make sure it's all right for her. But I'm pretty positive that it cooked all the way through and it smells delicious and it looks fabulous. So happy birthday, Grandma. As always, my recipes are a guide. Be creative, make it your own. And I am gonna kind of throw my Cash App up here at the end. If anybody wants to help me y'all getting a new KitchenAid, them things are high. But I'm going to invest in a KitchenAid mixer this time. So I do too much baking not to. I deserve it, right? Like I said, my birthday is October 22nd, so it will be an early birthday present or will be a birthday present to me. Thank you guys for following, and I always enjoy being in the kitchen with you. God bless you. Love you guys.